My son moved my chair away from the signing table with his foot in front of the investors. I had my hand halfway to the pen. 41 years I'd been reaching for that pen. "This part is for the people who actually run the company, Dad," he said, light, almost friendly, the way a man talks when he has already decided you don't count. And he pointed to a folding chair against the wall by the window. One of the men in the good suits laughed into his coffee. Kyle smiled at them, like the two of them had practiced it. "He's just dead weight now," he said. "Built things with his hands once. We're past that part." I put my hand back in my lap, walked past the table and sat in the chair he had saved for the man he no longer thought mattered. "My name is Earl. I poured my first foundation at 19 in November, when the ground fights you for every inch. I started Whitaker Construction out of the bed of one truck. With one helper and a contractor's license I drove 90 miles to sit the exam for. I built the additions on half the schools in this county. I put roofs over families who are grandparents now. My hands don't close all the way anymore. That's what 40 winters of concrete does to a man's hands. I raised Kyle on those job sites. He napped in the truck cab while I framed houses in the heat. I taught him how to read a grade, how to set a corner true, how to shake a man's hand and mean the whole thing. When his mother got sick, my crews covered for me without being asked, and we still finished every job on time because that was the name on the trucks. Whitaker. My name. I thought I was handing my son a trade. I didn't see yet that I was handing him something he would come to be ashamed of. A couple of years ago, Kyle started talking about investors, about scaling, about a development group from the city that wanted to buy in, put real money behind the name, take us national. He bought new shirts. He stopped wearing boots. He moved the office into a glass building downtown, put a sign on the door that said Whitaker Group, and somewhere in there he quit saying we and started saying I. I let it go. A father lets a lot go, telling himself the boy is just finding his feet. The signing was supposed to be the biggest day in the company's history. A room up high with a view of the whole city, catering, lawyers down both sides of a long table. I came in my one good jacket. I had signed every paper that mattered for that company for 41 years, and I figured I would sign this one too. That is when Kyle moved my chair. I didn't make a scene. You don't spend a life on job sites and then throw a fit the first time something goes wrong. You learn to find where the load is really sitting before you open your mouth. So I sat against the wall by the window, and I watched my son shake hands and call my company his. I wasn't planning revenge. I didn't have a plan at all. I just knew one thing they had all forgotten to look at, and on a job site, the quiet fact in the room always gets the last word. Here is the thing none of them checked. A construction company cannot legally bid a job, sign a contract, or pull a single permit on its own. It runs on a license, a qualifying license with a real person's name and number behind it, a person the state holds responsible for every footing and every beam that company ever sets. For 41 years, that person was me. The company wasn't licensed under my son. It was licensed under me. Every contract Kyle ever signed, every bid he ever won, every permit on every wall in that company's history, all of it was legal because my name and my number stood behind it. Kyle ran the office, but without the old man, he just sat against the wall. The company couldn't legally drive a nail. The investors were not fools. That is the part my son forgot. Men do not hand over that kind of money on a smile and a glass building. Near the end, when most of the pens had moved and people were already reaching for the champagne, the lead investor's lawyer, a careful woman who had been quiet all afternoon, slid her glasses up and read one page for a long time. Then she asked the room a simple question. "The license this company operates under," she said, "the qualifying license, whose name is on it?" Nobody answered. She found it herself 2 lines down. "Earl Whitaker," she read out. "He's the qualifier of record. He is not an officer on this deal. He is not even a signatory." She set her pen down flat. "Then I'm sorry. There is nothing to sign today. Without the person who holds that license, this company can't legally keep one of the contracts you are paying for." The room went quiet the way a job site goes quiet when a load shifts and every man freezes at the same second. My son's face came apart in front of the very people he had been performing for all day. He looked down the long table at me, against the wall, in my good jacket, by the window. For the first time in 2 years, Kyle looked at me like he needed me. "Dad," he said, and it was the first time all day the words sounded less like a label and more like a plea. If you have ever watched a steady, quiet person get written off by the same people they carried for years, you already know why I am telling you this. Stay with me. It is not the money that turns here. I could have let it all come down right there. One word, one refusal to sign my license back over to him, and my son had nothing but a sign and a lease. 41 years gives a man that kind of match to strike. I didn't strike it. I stood up. I walked to the table, and I picked up the one page with my name on it, and I held it instead of tearing it. "You can keep the building," I told my son. "Keep the glass, the sign, the gentleman in the good suits. The license comes with me." It always did. I didn't raise my voice. A man who has spent his life making other people's houses stand does not knock his own sons down just to feel tall for a minute. Here is what none of them expected. When I walked out, the work walked out with me. I never asked it to. My foreman, Danny, 22 years on my crews, set his hard hat down on that polished table and followed me to the elevator. Then 2 more men. Then the framing crew, the concrete guys, the kid I had been training all spring. They didn't follow me because I'm some great man. They followed because they had spent their whole careers watching how I treated them when there was no investor in the room, and they had just watched how my son treated me when there was one. I'm 62, and I started over the way I started the first time. One truck, a handful of men who chose me. We do smaller work now. Foundations, additions, a gym for a school out past the county line. And I finally started a thing I should have started years ago. I take on apprentices, kids who can't pay for trade school, and I teach them on real sites the way nobody ever bothered to teach them. The trucks say Whitaker again, my name, the right way this time. Kyle still has his building. The investors never came back. The sign downtown still carries his name on a company that, last I heard, no longer holds a license to build much of anything. He calls some Sundays I pick up because he is my son. But I have noticed he doesn't say I anymore when he talks about the company. He doesn't say very much at all. For 41 years my name was the quiet thing that let other men build. They thought it was just an old man in a folding chair by the window. It was the footing the whole company was standing on. You can move a man's chair away from the table anytime you like. You had better be sure first that he isn't the thing holding the table up. If stories like this matter to you, stories about the quiet people who carried more than anyone ever saw, subscribe. There are more of them here every week. If you had been in that room, would you have handed the license back or let it all come down? Tell me below. And if there is a quiet man in your life whose name carried more weight than anyone ever thanked him for, send this to him. He'll know